I will stop sharing, but I just want Dorian to make sure he's happy with this sort of.
Oh, he's
Oh
not
yeah,
seen mine.
yep.
I think
I'm a happy man. Very very happy.
mine's not even near. I'm gonna have to sit forward because mine doesn't appear to be anywhere near -6. So I'm gonna have to adjust my seat position. My God,
Did you not test your audio first, you amateur?
Yeah, I kind of did. Well, no, I kind of did, but I thought it was all right. And now I started talking, I realised. Well, basically, my nose is against the pixels now. I can see each individual LED.
Enter to begin. Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome to CPOD, the Curse of the Enthusiast podcast. I'm your host, Dorian, and with me, as always, is our co-host, Elliott.
There was no special name that threw me off. It's me.
I'm going to be honest, I'm not original enough. I don't have enough original thought in me to come up with a new joke every episode, every week. So tell you what, if you can think of a new joke for Elliott's name, pop it in the comments. I'll use it next time. And that way you can get like your own little
if I can
feature.
think of one.
Oh, go on.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking if I could think of one, I'd be able to alleviate the pressure from you.
No. All right. I'm going to move on swiftly so I don't have to hear any more of Elliott's awful jokes. We have a guest with us this week. It is Jack, who we've mentioned on this podcast many a time before. Hello, Jack. How are you, bud?
Hi guys. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
All good. Thank you. I just want to point out as well that the answer that I've just given, Jack, of all, I'm good, I'm fine, thank you very much, that's the socially acceptable answer that I tend to give on the podcast. Realistically, if you answer me that question in real life, I'm going to go, oh, for God's sake. And if everyone just goes, here he goes, go on, complain away. I'm a misery guts in real life. But yeah, I'm good, thank you. And it's great to have you on, finally. We've been talking about doing this for a while.
Yeah, well, I'm an avid listener of the podcast. Long-time listener, first-time caller,
Hey.
Glad to be here.
I want to know why you've not bought that pack of thermal socks. I wanted to know why he's not done it. I know he's been looking at them. Been trying to sell these thermal socks on the TV selling, but
I have 2 pairs of thermal socks from Poland because Nadia's mum keeps buying them me, and like they are really really good. But there's 2 like really heavy duty ones that I've not worn yet, and I can't think of a time where it's going to be cold enough that I should wear them. So maybe, hopefully, this year I'll finally get around to it.
I think this is why you complain a lot. I think we've all aged. I think hearing about your thermal socks. I think it's an appreciation you gain at a certain age. A good pair. I've got an excellent pair of.
I just
thermal
need a good
socks.
pair of socks. All right, very quick story time before we move on. I had my hair cut like 2 days ago, and you get talking to your hairdresser as you do, and then you came towards the end of the haircut, and she showed me the back with the mirror, and I can't see because I've not got my glasses on because obviously I have to take them off to have my haircut. But I'm going, oh yeah, that's fine. But I noticed something, and I go, hang on a minute, and she panics and goes, oh God, what? I was like, can you just put that back for a second? And so she moves the mirror to the back of my head. I've got a grey patch around the back of my head. That wasn't there before.
Well, that makes sense because you're old. But I must admit, I went to my barber the other day, and this wasn't my last visit. My last visit, the ATM decided to take my 20 quid from my card, give me my card back, and then Windows 7 Professional just started restarting, so I never got the cash. So, and the time before that, the guy said, oh, grey hair, which...
No.
He then said I was balding. So my answer was, well, just call me fat as well if you want, mate. Go for the trio if you like. So yeah, apparently, at least yours didn't call you out for it. Mine had no shame.
That's horrible. Like if you say it to yourself and then someone goes, oh, it's not that bad, don't worry about it, I'm the same, look at me. That's acceptable. For someone else to go, did you know your hair's thinning? That's not on.
It wasn't even that. He just went, huh? Balding.
That's shocking.
So yeah,
I'd have walked out. Oh, by the way,
Jack, have you got any barber related stories?
No, I've been going grey since I was 26, so I'm well past it now. 10 years of catering will make you go grey. Renovating a house will also make you go grey particularly quick. So just be thankful you're only just going grey.
Ah, Elliot, that could be
Just-
it. Now that you've
yeah.
finally done your hallway, you're just like, oh, everything's starting to fall out.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to say to Jack, preach it, girl, because, yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Absolutely. Gentlemen, what have we been playing?
Guests first. Come on, Jack.
Okay. So I'm a PC gamer. So on PC, I've recently started Death Stranding. First
Hey,
game.
get in. I love some Death Stranding. 1 or 2?
The first one.
Excellent.
I'm about 10 hours in, maybe. Don't know how I feel yet. Bit of a rocky start, but I'll pursue the story. I guess I don't know. You talk about it, yourself, Dorian, and feel like really engaged with it. I'm not there with it yet, but we'll get there. I've also been playing some Guild Wars 2, following. They've basically nerfed everyone, so I thought that'd be interesting. So I've gone back to that. I've been playing some Crimson Desert. I started that got released. I thought, oh, this looks a bit of me, and struggled with the controls, so not played much more of that. Monster Hunter Wilds, that also got patched because that performed really poorly, so I booted that back up as well and started playing a few of the new monsters. But the game I've played the most has been in Tabletop Simulator, and it's called Magical Athlete, and you should both look this game up because it's brilliant. It's a real game as well, a real cardboard game.
So
But it's
looking
great.
now.
in
Magical
tabletop.
Athlete. So there's 1,001 things that cross over in my mind about what that could be, because you've got your athletes, of course, but then what makes a magical athlete specifically?
So whichever athlete you choose has like a special ability. So my favorite athlete is called the Fat Baby, which if you land on the same space as the Fat Baby, you get like knocked back a space. So and then there's like different squares on the board where it like puts you forward spaces, and then you end up on the same space as the Fat Baby and get knocked back again, and it just ends up being like an impenetrable wall of this Fat Baby. It's great.
That sounds incredible.
Yeah, really, really good game. And then as well, I've been playing on the Switch, like listening to you guys and the sort of Nintendo hype. So I got the old Nintendo Switch back out. I recently completed Breath of the Wild, which was on my gaming journal,
Nice.
and closely followed by now sort of like halfway through Mario Odyssey, and I've been playing a bit of Hades as well.
I've seen Hades, but I know it's like it's supposed to be like a 2D platformer. Is that right? Or am I thinking of Blasphemous?
No, it's like an isometric top down, sort of like
Diablo roguelike, isn't it? In a way, it's kind of like
yeah.
Oh, okay.
In layman's terms, I think it's probably the easiest way to put it.
Fair play.
Yeah, it's really good. Graphics really good. Story's really good. The sort of plot line of you're in hell trying to escape your Hades son, trying to escape hell, and they're like the gods come down or the goddesses come down and like help you. All the artwork's amazing. Like it's really good.
The music and voice acting
Recommend.
as well.
Yes, music very good.
Cool.
Music very good.
Music very good.
I did say I had my mic muted because I'm a professional by accident. But I liked the banana, by the way, in that game, in the athlete game. The look of the banana on the box.
There's so many. Like I say, get it up in Tabletop Simulator and just like look through the different characters you can play. It's so funny. They've all got different weird and wonderful abilities, and you basically, no matter what you do, you end up laughing. It's just so well made.
I'm just looking this up on Google
that
now,
sounds
and
amazing.
it looks disturbing to look at upon first. Actually, the board itself is a very interesting design. That's very strange.
Yeah, there's two sides to the board as well. So you play one round on one side and then you flip it over and it's a different board.
Ah,
So yeah, it keeps it interesting.
very cool.
Just going back, do you say you played Crimson Desert?
Yeah, played about 10 hours maybe.
Because that's I think #1 on Steam at the moment. Everyone's raving about it. How are you finding it?
It's good. I understand why it's a good game. I understand why people are playing it. It's one of those where I bounce off it really easily because there is so much to do and there's no real sort of story driven sort of completion anything. It's just basically a huge sandbox and you can do whatever, and I get lost in those kind of games. We've sort of spoken about it on the podcast before. When these worlds are too big and you end up not really getting anything done or feeling that you've got anything done. Also, the biggest thing with that game is the controls are horrendous.
Have you played Witcher 3?
I have, yeah, and I've not completed it. That is on my list for this year, my gaming journal. I wouldn't compare the two, but after playing Crimson Desert, I was like, I should just go back and play Witcher 3 because that ticks all the boxes that I want it to tick. Whereas I'm sort of fighting with Crimson Desert to fit it into that same box.
Well, the reason why I compared those two is because I really struggled with the controls of Witcher 3. It was almost like there was some input delay. I think I tried it on PS4 and I think I've tried it on PC and I couldn't gel with it, but I appreciate that I really should keep trying and get into it. So that's why I was sort of asking of how'd you find the two. So would you say Crimson Desert's controls are far worse than Witcher 3's?
Far worse. Far worse. Just purely because they're trying to do so much with the limited amount of buttons you've got.
Right, yeah, no, that's useful to know. Thank you, mate.
The Witcher 3 was pretty difficult. I don't want to say completed. I got through the Witcher 3's main story, but I've got the Game of the Year edition. There is so much to do in the base game alone that I was nowhere near completing it. I think I got through the main story and a couple of side quests within roughly 60 hours. But Witcher 3 is easily a 200-plus hour game. So I didn't even scratch the surface when it came to all the side missions. And that's what makes The Witcher 3 both a great game and an awful game at the same time, because the controls do take some getting used to. Once you got used to them, and that there is that weird delay. I know exactly what you mean, because I experienced it as well. It's one of those that you really have to sort of drive through it, and eventually it just becomes second nature like any other game. But it's a vast open world with so much to do that you never get anything done, because you could be just going through a field and then all of a sudden there's a wyvern over your head and you've got to kill that thing that turns out it was part of a bounty. Oh, I'll go collect that thing. So you go to this town, you hand in your bounty, and then there's like 10 NPCs that come towards you going, oh, I've got a reason to hire you, and it turns out to be some huge like storyline of its own that you go, oh, this wasn't just a simple cash and grab it. This is a full mission in itself. And this is for every town you go in, every monster that you see, every like derelict place or castle or whatever. It's just so huge. I've got it for Switch. I played it on PS4, but we have it for the Switch as well. And I'm worried that once I start playing it on the Switch, I will never get off it, because it was a great game, but it was so much to do. But yeah. Oh, how
I do want to point out is.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I was just going to say, it's interesting because you're saying that there are all these hours in the game and there's different stories and things to do. Jack, do you know what I found quite interesting is the first time I saw The Witcher 3 was Dorian showing me the spicy mission in there, the spicy little side quest things you can do. It's interesting how we found that so quickly.
Straight for the spice.
The what?
Spicy. The 18 plus, the adult.
Oh yeah.
The jazzy.
There's a fair amount of
that. Yeah, which you've obviously gone and found.
Not gone and found. It's
I think
part
this
of
is
the
like
story.
the total opposite to my playthrough.
It's part of the story. I know.
Jack's playthrough is chaste.
My original playthrough, I found Gwent and then played Gwent for 8 hours.
Oh, Gwent
Oh.
is its own thing entirely. Oh my god, Gwent's just addictive. Absolutely. Well, what I was going to ask
Playing
was...
dice. Oh, sorry, Dory. Please, I'm talking over you. Go on, sir. Go on.
No, that's all right. So Jack's just explained that he's been playing these new games on his PC. He's been getting into Death Stranding. Excuse me. He's picked up his Switch. He's just casually completed Legend of Zelda. I'm here. Like, I'm struggling just to keep 2 games. How have you got all of this time on your hands to do so much stuff?
I don't have a child, first and foremost, I would say.
Well, there is that, but
but
you're still adulting. Like, you have a job, you have your own house. As you say, you've got like all of the upkeeping of said house to do.
I think this is a bit like we were talking when you had Nadia on, that it was like, I'm a bit of a vibe gamer. I'm not very good at completing things, and like having the gaming journal this year has been really good to like make me finish games. But I'll just like boot up a game. I was like, oh, I've not played it. Like Monster Hunter Wilds, I was like, oh, there's been a patch for this. I'm just going to boot it up and play for a couple of hours. Oh, kill a few monsters. Great. You know, same with like Crimson Desert. Like, oh, I'll have a go at this. Or Guild Wars 2 is a great example. You can just open that game, do a couple of hours, and just be like, oh, great. Close again. Not play you for however long.
Yeah.
Go back to whatever.
Fair play.
So I jump around a lot.
Speaking of patches, I'll quickly dive into what I've been playing, which is the same as last week, funnily enough. However, I'm very, very happy that after the debacle that was Legacy of Kain Ascendance, Legacy of Kain Defiance released a patch completely for free. It was classified like free DLC that gave, I think, 2 or 3 skins for each character that you play, 32 skins for the sword, I think 6 or 7 lost levels, as well as updates to the heads-up display, and some tweaks to the skins that were pretty low resolution. So all of us Legacy of Kain fans were super, super happy that they've done these tweaks and this update to Defiance, because now I've got a whole new reason to play through it all again. One of the biggest additions that they did was wings. So, just as an example, Raziel's vampire skin didn't have wings, because as soon as he got his wings, they were torn off. Spoiler alert. So now that you can add wings onto that character's, like, they're not useful, it's just a skin, but it was just like, oh my god, that's cool. Now I can play as vampire with wings, Raziel. So it's like, I have to play the game like that. This is brilliant. So I turned that on just so I could see what these extra skins were like. One of them is a cardboard tube. So instead of like swinging this huge skull sword, you can swing a cardboard tube to defeat your enemies, which is fantastic.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Can you fly with those wings?
No.
You're basically as useful as a penguin then.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I don't think Raziel got the opportunity to fly anyway, because as I said, the moment he grew them, Kain ripped them off his back. So I don't think even Raziel got that opportunity.
Okay, so more of a mallard duck then, would say.
Yeah, pretty much, exactly. Or in Raziel's case, a dodo. Because he became extinct and then was technically resurrected. Yeah.
Do. 36 skins though. My god, that's a lot.
It's insane. Yeah, it really, really is. There could be more updates in the future, who knows? But the fact that they've included lost levels as well is amazing. And lost levels are snippets that have been rebuilt from cut content. So they've said like, oh, this would have been the ancient vampire citadel chamber, or this was a bit of the Sarafan keep that got cut out, and then this is the Oracle's Cave from Soul Reaver 1, which was going to be included in this, but they cut that out as well. So here it is rebuilt for you to explore, and you're just going, oh, this is cool. Because now we get to see what the game would have looked like and explore all of these levels that would have made it to the game, but didn't, but they've released it anyway. It's like you playing a bit of Halo, and someone says, oh, did you realise that there was a level that was cut out from Halo? And you go, oh, it's a shame I didn't get to see that. Well, now you can. And you go, really? It's the equivalent of that. So it's been really fun to explore all that. But that was for about half an hour. The rest I just kind of read up on the forums and Legacy UK and fan pages. I will eventually go through another playthrough at some point. But this week I've been playing a bit more Tomb Raider 2 on my PlayStation 1, which is the furthest I've ever got in this game, so I'm quite happy about that. It is very frustrating, but there's that sense of satisfaction that comes with it after you've spent 45 minutes on one level and you go, oh, thank God for that. I feel like I've achieved something. But the thing that has taken over my life is Animal Crossing in a way that I did not expect it to. I'm currently...
He is in.
I am hooked. I'm 100% hooked. It's the thing that I do before I go to bed. I take the Switch upstairs with me and I make sure that I sign into that little Nook app thing so I get my additional points. Because if you sign in for like multiple days, then you get more points. And I'm currently building 3 new houses for new residents to come and move into this not so derelict island now. And some duck called Gulliver's just turned up on the beach as well. So I'm like, oh, who are you? He's lost his communicator. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll do jobs for you as well, I guess. So this is meant to be
with no identity. You'll be sending him back, mate.
I'm yet to get to that, but it does very much feel like I was meant to live this lovely, peaceful life that I get to choose on my island, and everyone that I meet goes, do me a favour. I'm like, oh, for God's sake, what now? Just let me live my quiet life, please. So
I wish you could respond with that in the game and then react. Just you'd be like, oh, for God's sake. And then you just got Nook like, I'm letting you live here for free, pal. Well, it's not, is it? You charge your bells,
yeah, exactly. I think I'm still like 100,000 crowns or coins or whatever, bells, in debt.
Bells,
yeah, exactly.
Coins and crowns and swords and shields and...
At the moment I'll have paid that off, he's going to be like, oh, okay, well done, you paid off your loan, congratulations. But do you want to make it bigger? And I'm going to go, of course I want to make it bigger. I've run out of room trying to fill my house full of the crap that you keep making me collect. So
yeah, and then you're going to do all this and you're going to go, that wasn't with the interest.
Have you come across turnips yet, Dorian?
Yes. Actually, whilst I've got you, I can ask about that because someone's selling me turnips every Sunday. And they said, oh, you can resell them, but the exchange rate will change every day. So I sold them at 50 bells a turnip, 10 turnips, so that's 500 bells. I thought to myself, is it going to get any higher, any lower than that? So generally, what's a good price for turnips?
Oh, I'm out
This is the true end game.
This is the true end game.
Why?
Would you like to explain, Elliot, or shall I explain?
You can explain.
This is the true end game because you're basically now playing a turnip stock market where this whole ecosystem revolves around turnips. I've seen turnip prices skyrocket. I've seen turnip prices plummet. I have seen Discords set up purely for communicating different turnip prices so you can go to other people's islands to get a better turnip price.
Oh
this is the true end game of Animal Crossing.
So it's like Bitcoin almost. That's insane.
There is full on. Even if I was Googling it as we speak, on Reddit there is even someone saying there's a comment of what someone basically asking very similar to yourself, Dorian, but this person is 3 mil they want to invest, so they're wondering what they can invest it in. And someone's like, check out r/turnip exchange. There's an entire subreddit just for your turnips.
That's madness. What have I walked into?
Well, what can I say?
Oh, that's insane.
I want to see the Bank of Dorian, the bod.
It won't be much. It'll be because I like to. I don't do stocks. I like to think, a day's work for a day's pay. I'll collect all my bugs. I'll collect all my pears, and I'll go hand them into Tom Nook and his fiends, his boys. And I'll sell them and I'll go back out again. But yeah, I thought the turnip would be a nice, interesting way to earn an extra couple hundred bells, maybe. But I didn't think it was this vast, this conspiracy, this market for turnips of all things. We digress. Elliot, what have you been playing?
The first rule of the club is you don't talk about Turnip Club. What have I been playing? Right. So, I actually have quite a lot to talk about this week. But what I'm going to say is there's a whole piece here which I'm going to save for a topic next week. But I've been playing my Xbox ROG Ally X, again, what a lovely name, pretty consistently, using it as a PC.
Yes.
So this week I also got a new keyboard. So I invested in a Gravistar V75 Lite, which is a Hall effect mechanical keyboard, which is, oh my god, it's incredible. And I've been getting back into a lot of the PC stuff. So I have been playing a lot of Escape from Tarkov. The irony with this hardcore simulation shooter is when I could play it at, 60 to 144 frames, I was terrible. Now I'm running at 20 to 30 frames, I seem to be getting there and doing very well. So I don't know what that is. Worse hardware, I'm playing better. Go figure. I've been playing RuneScape Dragon Wilds. So me and Lauren, my wife, we bought that on Friday. And we managed to put in 12 hours over the weekend. That's a fantastic game. Really, really good. I'm trying to think what's the closest thing. If you've played Valheim, it's basically RuneScape Valheim with sort of a storyline, and it's almost a bit more casual, but it has a few elements that makes it a bit more sort of hardcore. It's really good. If you've not seen it, strongly recommend having a look at RuneScape Dragon Wilds. That's one of the best games I've played for a while. It's currently in a beta. But it's also very cheap. I think it was like 23 quid or something like that, so that was well worth it.
Okay.
I've played a little bit of Day of Defeat Source, mostly for nostalgia. So me and Jack used to play a hell of a lot of this. I think we might have spoken about this in the past, but we used to play a map that someone had modded in, and it was basically like a ginormous snowy valley with loads of pine trees. And they removed kind of like the main objective point, and you're literally just sniping each other, but the sniping is so satisfying. So just going back playing some of that, which was really fun. And finally, we were playing some Marvel Rivals, which is kind of like a Overwatch clone, I think is how you described it, Jack, and I think that's a very fair way of putting it. I think it's a 6v6 sort of hero shooter, but it's actually very good. And lo and behold, my favourite character to play is Punisher. What was interesting is last night I was riding on... Is it Jeff the Shark, Jack?
Yes, Jeff the Shark.
Yeah, so you had Punisher, thank you. You had Punisher riding Jeff the Shark around before the game started. And it really conflicted me because it was great playing as Punisher in a video game, but very weird to see him dancing sat on top of a little shark. But yeah, that's very fun. We used to play a lot of Paladins, which is kind of another Overwatch clone, but that got shut down. So thought we'd give this a go. I mean, when you open up Marvel Rivals, the amount of microtransactions is egregious. I've never seen anything like it. It's just... I tell you what, if you ever want something to make you feel old, fire up that game and you will instantly just get annoyed with the amount of things it's trying to make you buy, and it just makes you feel old immediately. But yeah, so I've been playing quite a lot for once, because the last few weeks I've been so busy with work I've not had a chance. So yeah, and I think I mentioned I completed Procopia on Switch.
Yeah, you did.
But I've still been doing a little bit on that. Still logging into that and doing a tiny bit. And I have played a bit more Final Fantasy VII Remake, but majoritively we're looking PC side, and I have, well, now that my boiler is kind of middle of the road, kind of could have a big leak, could have issues, etc., but no big payment now. I do have some talking on potentially a new PC build to do next week, but I'm going to leave it there because I could talk about that for too many minutes. So that is what I've been playing.
That's fair. We're almost half an hour in already, so I'm going to go straight into... Actually, I think Jack should lead this bit, because today's first topic is suggested by Jack. So Jack, what are we talking about for our first topic?
Yes, so the first topic that I suggested to you guys is a piece of tech, gaming or otherwise, that has revolutionized the experience for you. So I'm happy to go first. I obviously posed a question. I've got a few ideas to maybe get you thinking.
Okay.
Go for it.
I've got like a very strong first place, closely followed by a second place, and then a more sort of generic third and fourth place. So I'll just go through them quite quickly. Number one for me, I think, is the Amazon Kindle.
Oh,
I think it not only revolutionized how to read books, but it also brought the e-ink display, which we see like put into so many more applications now. And I think the Kindle really threw that technology into the forefront and made people think about what it could do.
Yeah.
But also the storefront that Amazon provides with the Kindle, with all the books on it. It's like you can just scroll through, pick a book, purchase, done. Like that sort of revolutionized books for me, and it just made it so easy to just find more things, and you can download samples of books, so you get like the first 4 chapters for free instead of having to like walk through a bookshop, read a blurb, which I think is just fantastic.
I did not expect that. I'm blown away by that, and I'm also too much of a heathen to I have a Kindle. I have the first one because I bought Lauren a new one, so she gave me her like first gen one. I think it's the one that's about to be like no longer supported. I don't read enough books. I'm trying to get through one book at the minute, and it's yeah. I could have one, and I appreciate it, but I can't read enough to get there. What are your thoughts on that, Dorian?
I agree. I've never owned a Kindle. I need to read more. I've tried to push myself to read more. Nadia has got a small library's worth of books here at home, physical and on a Kindle. She got given a Kindle by a friend. It's one that's got a bit of a backlight as well, so she can read it in the dark. She spent quite a bit of money collecting books on the Kindle. It goes everywhere with us. It goes in the car. It goes on holiday with us. It goes on any journey. She never takes it off her. It's one of the last things that she does when she's in bed, and she's always dead excited to go and read her Kindle somewhere. She still enjoys a physical book in itself, but if she's not got that option, she loves the fact that she can still take, as I say, a library's worth of books with her on the go, and it takes up virtually no space in her bag whatsoever. I do think it's a brilliant idea. I don't think I know enough about it to know what else it's been incorporated into, but I know that there's, I think something like with the Microsoft Surface Pro, one of the new Microsoft Surface tablets also has a similar technology in it, where if you're not using the LCD as a standard screen, you have the option to write notes on it as if it were like an e-ink thing, and it'll record those notes or transcribe them somehow. The technology is insane. So I agree, 100%. Great pick.
My close second is for a sort of similar vibe. So it's the Apple iPod Classic.
Oh,
for
yes.
For the same sort of reasoning that not only did Apple, revolutionize the sort of MP3 sort of mobile device where it can go wherever, they also brought in the storefront where it's like iTunes. You can literally just find a track on there, purchase it, it's there, it's yours. Similar to the Kindle with the books, it revolutionized not only the music you're listening to, but how you interacted with music and purchased music, which I think was really good.
I still want one today. I think one of the first few podcasts we did, Dorian, I think you actually spoke about trying to find something like that and utilize that as opposed to Spotify and a phone, so your phone is just a phone. I still think there's a huge appeal for those, so yeah, fair play.
I did have, I can't remember which model I had. It was an iPod mini that was 16 gig, and I used to love that thing until I lost it in a bush when I was about 18 years old at a party. I remember it vividly. But yeah, I loved taking that thing out and about with me, and I'm in a phase at the moment where I'm trying to use my phone less because it takes up far too much of my time and way too much of my attention. And so the idea of picking up another MP3 player lately has been crossing my mind. It's interesting that actually Jack should mention that, because today I was speaking to my fiancée and her friend who came over for tea, and I was going through my wife. I was going through in my head. I thought to myself, I don't think there's been any major invention that's really rocked the 21st century, as it were. In the last 25, 26 years, there's been nothing huge, because DVDs came out in the 90s. Wi-Fi has been around since technically the 80s, 90s, but it didn't really make households until the 2000s. But I really had to rack my brain. I thought, what major development has there been in the past 25 years? And they said it right there and then. They said iPods, MP3 players, and smartphones. And I went, oh my God, you're right. They're everywhere. Everyone's got one. It's in their hands, and it basically takes over most of people's lives. And it practically did start with the iPod. The idea of, okay, yeah, you can carry a CD around with you, you can carry a tape, but that's 10 songs maybe. What if you could carry hundreds, maybe even thousands of songs in your pocket? Then came the iPod Touch, and then Apple had the bright idea of going, well, why is it got to be an MP3 player? Let's make it a phone. And it did. It 100% started with the iPod. It absolutely did revolutionize technology as it is today. So fair play. Good shout.
I've got two very quick ones that are more gaming adjacent. So that the honorary third place is wireless dongles. So not only wireless controllers, wireless keyboards, wireless mice, wireless headsets, like just wireless things in general. It's great. Going from like the PlayStation 2 on a wired controller to PlayStation 4 or with PlayStation 3 with a wireless one. Brilliant. And fourth place, a bit more modern, I think proximity chat. What a cool thing. It was hardly ever implemented. And then in all the sort of indie games now, proximity chat is like a must-have feature. And I just think that's only like maybe the last year or so that's really come to the forefront. But I think it's I don't think we could ever go back. I think it's such a clever thing that was so easily implemented that we all sort of take for granted now.
I've not played enough games that have proximity chat. I'd played it once or twice when we did it as a group on Among Us, and it was hilarious. But one of my favorite TikTok videos is someone that's playing this weird Avatar horror game in first person, and the proximity chat's on, and every time that someone talks on their headset, like the head flaps, and I don't know what game this is. But someone's singing.
It sounds like Repo.
It might be.
Yeah, it's Repo.
I think it might be, yeah. And now, bear in mind, I can't sing, so please forgive me for this. But this guy is hiding in this corner, and he calls out to his mate, and the mate just runs by, and his head's flapping to this song where he's going, my mind's telling me no, but my body, and as he just goes into the corner, you can hear it reverb, and it's the reverb and the fact that this guy's just singing to himself in a dark corridor somewhere, just completely oblivious to any danger that might be coming up behind him. I absolutely lost it when I watched that video for the first time. It's one of the funniest things I have ever seen. So yeah, I love proximity chat. It's fantastic.
We've been talking about playing, there's a game called RV There Yet, which is you're basically all on like this RV, but I think there's like challenges like a bridge will be broken, you've got to try to sort of all fix it together. It's about £6. Now, if that would run on your laptop, Dorian, I'd love to get 4 of us all together to play that. But there's also, Jack, was it Peak, the other one, the climbing game?
Yeah, Peak's another great one.
Yeah, I want us to get some nights in where we do this. And what I'd quite like to do is, because it's a 4-player thing only, I was thinking, how could we do this? But thinking, maybe, if you're not going to play that evening, we could organise it. Other people could just be watching it. So one of us could just stream it into Discord. So everyone could be in a lobby watching it. So if you're not one of the 4 playing, you could be doing something else, but you can watch the 4 of us friends playing it, because I think it'd be absolutely hilarious. But yeah, they're very like Fall Guys. I think we should get into some more of that, because that's the real like hilarious moments in gaming that you just seem to remember for years and years. Yeah. So I want to get some more of that done.
Some honourable mentions as well, just the sort of same thought line is Burgling Gnomes. That's a great demo. Haunted Heist, great demo. Yap Yap, brilliant. And there's another one, sorry, I've forgotten its name.
What games were these?
But basically you trump and you're in a haunted house. It's great.
I mean, that is one way to disarm like a scary haunted house, isn't it?
Exactly.
I'm so scared.
We gotta go is what it's called.
That sounds good.
Right,
I like that
okay.
title. That's brilliant. Elliot, how about yourself? So, what piece of gaming or otherwise tech has revolutionised it for you?
That's a tough one because the PC's always that was the thing which not only and it's hard to say the PC because it's so many pieces of tech in one, isn't it? So many components to build it. But between my one and two, it's a toss up. The first one of them would be the Switch, obviously, because I think that spurred on all of these handheld consoles. And I've lived in places where I didn't have the opportunity to have a desk, and the Switch was the only reason I could still play games. So the enablement and the amount of, like you're finding now with the Switch yourself. So if you're a family man, if you're a cozy gamer, if you don't get a chance to play games on a big screen, it's enabled so many people to play it that for me, I say it revolutionised the way I could play games, and it meant that games could mould more into my life as opposed to just being locked in. But I'd have to go with the PC overall, the computer, just because as a kid, my hobby was literally, I think I've spoken about this before, uninstalling Windows 95 and installing Windows 98 and trying to install Windows ME. And the messing around on PCs ultimately is what gave me a career. So I have to give a mention to that. So
yeah,
those two, one or two, you could mix them either way around. I would take either. The quick honourable mentions has to be gigabit in Ethernet, gigabit internet. Oh my god, what happened then? Just having a gig down is revolutionary. That completely changes the game for me. We've gone from the days where we were getting about a megabyte a second, if that. I was talking to our friend of the podcast, Zach, the other day, and I said, oh yeah, on Wi-Fi at the minute, I've just ordered one of the Wi-Fi boosters. I was like, I'm only getting, what did I say? I think I'm only getting 300 megabits down at the moment. And he's like, man, could you imagine if 10-year-old you heard you say that? Like, you would commit genocide to get to be able to get 300 megabits down. Yeah. And it's like, you know what? Yeah, I would. That's insane. And last honourable mention, I did have something in the chamber and I've completely forgotten what it was. I'm going to go with, I think it was smartphones. I think that was the route I was going through. Just in the sense that before, when you needed 5 devices, you can now do pretty much all of those tasks on one. So it's a bit of a cop-out, isn't it? But we've got to mention it.
Yeah, that's
so
fair.
That's my sort of 4. How about you, Dorian?
I did have one, which has actually already been mentioned by Jack. I do have a second one as well. I'm not going to go too in depth because time is cracking on. We've still got another topic to go through. So the first one for me is wireless controls, which doesn't sound like much, but I want you to set the scene, as it were, that you've spent the last 10 years, all of your gaming life so far, playing on your Mega Drives, your NES, your SNES, your N64, your PlayStation, up to your Xbox, your PS2, with wired controls. Now, bear in mind, these controls are about 1.5 meters, fair play, but you're still tied to it. There's things in the way. You can't close the cabinet. You've got to wrap the entire thing up, and then it gets kinked all over the place, and eventually the thing is going to break because it frays or it gets too 101 things that can go wrong with a wired control. And then comes your Xbox 360, your PlayStation 3, and yeah, you can get wireless adapters for previous ones as well, but these new consoles came with it built in. Bluetooth controls with very little delay. And so you can sit wherever you want. You don't have to be in direct line of sight. There's no, limit to how far away you can sit in the comfort of your own home, where you can sort of lean back and go, oh, I don't have to lean forward so that the cable reaches anymore. This is great. The downside with the PS3 was that eventually you had to plug it into a turned-on console every now and then to charge the controller. But if you had multiple controllers, that means that you could always have one charging on the go. Great. Whereas the Xbox 360 had arguably the smarter decision of swappable AA batteries. So as long as you had a spare set of AA batteries ready, just pop them in like a cartridge, turn it on, and you're ready to go. And as long as you could bought rechargeable AA batteries, that meant you never had to go out and buy another set again. And the idea that you could sit anywhere in your room, in any place, and just be able to sit back and lounge and play without anything getting in the way. No one can trip over anything. No one's going to disturb your game. So, make sure you stand over that, etc. Just gone. The idea of wireless controllers, beautiful. I love wireless controllers. So much so that I bought one for my Mega Drive as well, but unfortunately the receiver stopped working, which sucks. And there was quite a lot of input delay on that as well, so it didn't work as well as I'd hoped, but the idea of it was great. The second one is a me thing, purely because I'm a nerd for a good camera. Cameras have always been mechanical. Well, not always. That's my point. You used to have to shoot on film. You can still shoot on film if you choose to, but then digital cameras came out. But back in the 90s and early 2000s, there were great big clunky things. Did you know that in the 90s there was a Sony digital camera that recorded directly to floppy disk? That was the format.
Do you want me to tell you how old you are? When I worked at the I worked at the school, there was a kid who came in, and I had a floppy disk on the side because it was an old piece of software that we had, and it was on a floppy disk, which was crazy. And I remember the phrase, "Oh, cool! You've 3D printed a save button."
Oh no! Oh, for Christ's sake! Yep.
Jack, do you remember floppy disks?
Yep, all too well.
Didn't you have one with a piano? I'm sure you did. Like a keyboard. It had a floppy disk in it.
Yeah, I still have that keyboard, and it has extra VSTs and styles and themes that you can load on and off the floppy disk, which I have never ever used.
That's incredible. That's brilliant. That's 90s right there. That's fantastic. Don't ever get rid of that. So, the big thing was, and still is, the fact that in 2007, digital single lens reflex cameras were gaining in popularity. What can we get our new large and capable sensors to do? And the idea of digital video in cinema had already come. But then someone had the fantastic idea of incorporating the Canon 5D with video capabilities, and everyone kind of went, what? Full HD video at 24 frames a second in a camera that you can hold in your hands. And they went, yep, we've done it. And it took off in such a way that it was used as a stunt camera in Iron Man 2, in Avengers, in loads of Hollywood films. It was even used to shoot an entire season finale in house, because it was the only camera that would fit in the space needed to be able to film. It was something about someone being trapped somewhere, and they figured, well, how do we get a camera into the space where Hugh Laurie is supposed to be trapped? And they said, oh, well, there's a Canon 5D Mark II that'll do that. And they went, that camera's small enough to, all right, get it in there. And so they did. I still use one to this day because I don't need anything else. I don't need 4K. I don't need bells and whistles. It doesn't have to be touchscreen. It doesn't have to be autofocus. It shoots cinema quality video, and it's nearly 20 years old. And I still think it looks incredible. As I say, I still use it to go shoot stuff at Why Not. And anyone that records on their phone, yeah, they might be able to record 4K, brilliant. Or they might be able to take photos and say, oh, look how detailed that is. I go, yeah, but can it do this? And I'll show them the photos that I've taken. I'll show them the videos that I've taken. And I'm not saying that I'm incredible, because I don't deem myself to be brilliant at all. I'm not a professional cinematographer. And I know that there are people that are way better than me at getting the right shot at the right time and making it look incredible. But the fact that that 20-year-old piece of kit is capable of doing that just makes me go, I will never need another one until it becomes a paperweight. So, yeah, my second mention has to be digital video, especially in DSLRs, which are now obsolete because they don't make them anymore. They're now mirrorless cameras. They're getting smaller, they're getting smarter, but they're getting too smart. It's almost like they've taken the job away from you. I still like that the fact that I have to input every setting on the planet for it to work, but the fact that I have to do that means that I've done the job, not the camera. And then anything that comes out that I go, oh, that looks good, then I know that's me that did that on this brick of a device. So yeah, that's my love letter to the Canon 5D Mark II. Thank you. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
I love that. What I will say is, this is a little side note for anyone who's made it this far so far. If you just want to have a little research into what under cranking is, we can discuss that next week.
Yeah, pop it in the comments what you think undercranking might be. There you go.
Keep it PC. Moving on to topic number 2. This is a longer episode, so apologies for this. We're going to whiz through this topic then. So, Dorian, you came up with this topic. It was Game Boy appreciation.
Yeah, so yes, I've been playing the Switch to absolute death, and it's been great. It's been loads of fun. I've even got Noah to play some Mario Kart with me. I turn on the little automated features, and he even comes to ask me, goes, Daddy, can we play some Mario Kart? So I'm going to say, are you going to get grumpy? No? All right, we'll play some Mario Kart. And we'll sit down, we'll have a blast. But he was playing in the garden the other day, and I thought to myself, I don't really want to bring the Switch outdoors because it's charging, it's hooked up, and I've got to swap the things. And I thought, I'll grab the Game Boy. So I did. I picked up the Game Boy Advance that you gave me ages ago with Mario Kart Super Circuit in there, sat outside, angled it correctly so that I've got the best possible contrast and colour on there because it's not backlit, and I played a couple of sessions of Mario Kart Super Circuit on something that's smaller than the Switch screen itself, which it still boggles my mind that we've got devices that small that can play these incredible games. So, yeah, my topic number 2 today is a love letter to the Game Boy in general. What an incredible device. I think it's brilliant. What are your guys' thoughts?
I personally did not own a Game Boy original. We did, as a family, have a Game Boy Color. It was green. I don't really remember the best color. I don't really remember playing on it though. I remember having it. I remember seeing it. I don't remember playing on it. I very clearly remember my first Game Boy, which was the Game Boy Advance SP.
Yes, I had an
which
SP.
Was the clamshell design, backlit. I still have it now. I have it here for today's sort of podcast. I thought, I'll charge it up and play a couple of games of Prince of Persia. It still holds up, and sort of like what Dorian was saying, that it holds up. You can still just play for a couple of hours, enjoy it. They're brilliant pieces of technology. That was my first Game Boy. My second Game Boy was the Nintendo DS, the original release before they became the 3DS when it was just a touchscreen. I remember getting that for Christmas with Nintendogs, which was another great game. You could throw your dog the frisbee with the stylus, and it had like a microphone in. You could whistle to your dog.
I thought you were just like, it's a great game. You can throw your dog.
you couldn't hurt the animals. You could take them for walks. You could give them belly scratches, but no, great. I don't know if it's a bit of nostalgia, but I remember it being brilliant. I also had by far the best Animal Crossing Wild World on there.
Yes.
Cool.
Great game.
By far the best Animal Crossing. And then Mario Kart DS and Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Very nice.
See, I had Underground 2, and the Need for Speed games on DS were surprisingly good. They were terrible, but they were good.
Yeah, the fact that you could put like huge amounts of detail onto your cars and like fully customize it like you could on like the PlayStation 2 was, I thought, brilliant. That's like a game within itself now.
Yeah.
One of the oh, go on. Sorry, you guys go ahead first.
Sorry, Jack.
Yeah, and then the final ones. I have a 3DS now, which I bought off you, Elliott, which we still have, and a Switch. And they, like you said, the Nintendo, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They knew what they were doing. With each iteration, you could see how they'd gone from point A to point B, implementing and creating, and each one slightly different and bringing something new. I hold my hand up to them. Just from the Game Boy original to where they are now with the Switch. Just there's a reason they're a household name.
Yeah.
Ethically,
yeah, absolutely.
Ethically, they've done some questionable things for consumers. A bit like with the tariff pricing, so they basically charged every customer more due to inflation of the tariffs. but then they've claimed the tariff money back, I believe. So they basically charge the customer and then also got the money, so they're basically been paid twice. There's all sorts of things that they do, which is sometimes quite questionable, and the things they've done in regards to people's hardware. However, I think you just have to look at any console war, or they're just doing their own thing. They're just like, yeah, well, you guys have your little war. We're just going to go and build this. I mean, the console war, just to clarify. And they just seem to have that corner of the market, as you say. They do their thing. We've had enough Nintendo rants on this podcast from myself, but yeah, they're ace, aren't they? And as you say, worrying that what I'm realizing is the consoles I've owned seem to be spread across our friend circle, just over the years.
So one of the things I wanted to point out about the Game Boy, it wasn't necessarily Nintendo that started the console wars. They were very much involved up until the point of PlayStation/N64, at which point they couldn't compete with the PlayStation. So when GameCube came along, they were like, you know what, you guys do your thing, we're going to do ours. And the same very much happened with the handheld gaming market. There were competitors. And arguably, Game Gear could do stuff. Well, and it's not arguable; it's a fact. The Game Gear could do stuff that the Game Boy, the original Game Boy, the dot matrix display with no backlight, could not. But despite that, it was much more convenient, and that was the idea. That's why Nintendo were like, yeah, gaming out and about is meant to be for convenience, because Game Gear used to eat through 6 AA batteries within 2 hours, whereas in the original Game Boy, I think you had eight hours of battery life on 4 AA's, which they whittled down to 2 with a light built into it, and then there was the pocket, and then I also had a Game Boy Color. I had the teal one. That went to Greece with me the first time I ever went abroad, and I took 2 games, but the only 2 games I had, which was Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Resident Evil Gaiden. I don't know how much Buffy's worth nowadays, but Resident Evil Gaiden alone is about £100. I don't know where it went. I'd like to know where it went, because I want that game back, because terrible as it was, it's now worth that money and a rare collectible item. So, and then you had, my next one was the Game Boy Advance. I had some awful games and some great games on my Advance SP. Love that clamshell idea. They were incredibly innovative, but the great thing about the Advance is as well, it did things it wasn't supposed to do. So a lot of people seem to mistake the Advance as being a 16-bit system. It wasn't. It was 32-bit. So despite the fact that it emulated or played games that looked very much like the SNES did, which was a 16-bit console, V-Rally 3. If you've not seen any footage of V-Rally 3 for the Game Boy Advance, go look it up. It was capable of rendering, albeit badly, fully 3D environments. So it looks like a very basic PlayStation 1 game on a 3-inch screen in your hands on 2 AA batteries. Insanity. It did that
oh my God,
back in 2002.
Does. That looks great.
Yeah, it's brilliant. You could play Tekken on that thing, you could play Doom on that thing, as well as all of your favourites. Arguably, which one is it? It's not Zero Mission, it's Metroid Fusion, is one of the best looking 2D games I have ever seen, and one of the best I have ever played. I've not completed it, but I have played it. It's difficult, but every time I pick that game up and go, oh my God, it looks fantastic. The Advance was just so capable. But even then,
oh my God! It even had a first-person view. Sorry, I'm so in on V-Rally 3, and you've got Volkswagen Polos, you've got Clios, that's so cool.
It was such a good machine. But even the ones before then, like there are some very playable games on the Game Boy. When I signed up to that 7-day trial for the Switch, one of the first things I played was one of the Mario games for the Game Boy. Going, go on, let's see how bad this looks. It doesn't look bad at all. It doesn't necessarily hold up, but as long as you accept it for what it is, which was a black and white game that came out in 1991, you go, okay, what can I do? I can jump, I can platform, I can move, I can attack. Great, that's all I need. And you start playing through it and you go, this is fun. This is what gaming's meant to be. And the fact that you could do that and genuinely pocket it and go out wherever you went, it's no wonder it took off in the way that it did. And Nintendo have always dominated that market and always will, as far as I'm concerned. Which is why the Switch has done as well as it has, because they've combined the two. Do you want to take gaming out and about with you? No problem. Here's all of your favourites. But would you like to hook it up to your TV? Go on, then we'll let you do that as well. fantastic. And it all started with the Game Boy. So the Game Boy is just a wonderful, wonderful machine. The fact that you've modded yours and made it look as good as it does is brilliant. And the weird thing about it as well is the Advanced and the SP have got a couple of extra buttons, and they're designed to be more convenient and look cool. I think the Game Boy Color is easily, possibly the most comfortable handheld I've ever used. It doesn't feel unnatural in the hands whatsoever. It's fantastic. If I could... Sorry, go on, yeah.
Completely agree. I was going to say, yeah, because I got Lauren, she's got a Game Boy Advance SP with a modded IPS screen.
Yeah.
And that clamshell design, whilst it's really cool, it doesn't agree with me. And then I've got the GBA sort of standard one, but it's got that Pokemon Squirtle shell on it, and it's got an IPS screen. And then I modified the Game Boy Color, and the Game Boy Color is my favourite. It feels so comfortable to hold. So
it's brilliant. Yeah.
There's also, weirdly, I found certain Game Boy Color games, if you play them on the Advance, it does weird things with the sound. So I've got Tarzan, and it just makes this like horrible shriek on an Advance, but it's fine on the Color. And things like Dr. Mario as well, just on a Game Boy Color, just slaps. You can't beat it.
Yeah. I think at some point, if it wasn't so expensive, I would love to get collecting for the Game Boy again. I was in CEX earlier today, right? And this is how bad it's gotten, the retro market at the moment. So I took some photos of some of the prices of the games that I saw. Let me pull them up on my phone at the moment. So I found a lime green Game Boy boxed Game Boy Color. That was 150 quid. In very, very good condition, bear in mind. Then there was the purple see-through one. I didn't quite get the price of that, unfortunately. The boxed Game Boy Advance, the original one, was 115. And then here's some of the games. So Donkey Kong Country for the Game Boy Color, 15 quid. Not so bad.
That's a really good price for
that. Mario and Yoshi for the original Game Boy, 8 quid. Okay. Metal Gear Solid for the Game Boy Color, £42. Bit much. And then no box, nothing additional, just Pokemon Leaf Green cartridge only. £80. 80.
And the chances are being CX
somewhere.
Yeah, I was going to say, and the
Keep hold of it.
Being CX is probably a modified one as well. It's probably not actual legit either. I mean, obviously with all the Game Boy Color games I bought, I had to resolder the batteries, so I had to put new batteries on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I spent I think £80 on a copy of Pokemon Blue, which I then had to change the battery on as well. So I'm just going to bow out here, lads. I'm going to get involved. But Jack's got the original Leaf Green. My God.
Yeah.
And a Fire Red.
Oh well.
All right.
Well,
Mr. Moneybags.
It's all on the table now, isn't it?
Go on then. How many turnips did that cost you?
Oh, too many turnips for you, my friend.
Oh dear. But yeah, if I could, I would 100% get collecting for the Game Boy again. It might be one of the things that I potentially look out for at the Sheffield gaming market, just to see how much they are. I think I agree with you in that I probably wouldn't buy anything pre-modded. If I wanted to mod a Game Boy, I'd probably do it myself, just as a project to do. And if it all goes wrong, I've only got myself to blame. Whereas picking it up,
that Game Boy Advance I bought. Well, that's exactly it. Sorry, I cut you off. I think you were going to lead to what I was going to say. Is yeah, the one that I bought that had been pre-done, hoping that I wouldn't have to take it apart. They just hadn't done it with any care. They just clearly just trying to make a profit, and it was shocking. I had to redo the entire shell, which when you then took it apart, went, oh, this is really easy. Like, oh, I really overpaid. Okay, so then hence the Game Boy Color I did myself. So yeah, if you want to do it, I'd more than happily do it with you, for you, whatever you want.
Amazing. But yeah, so final thoughts on the Game Boy.
Game Boy Color rules.
How about yourself, Jack? Which is your preferred model? Which out of all of them, which one do you like the most?
I like my Advanced SP. That for me, it just fits well in my hands. And also I have the Samsung Flip, which is basically the exact same size and shape and everything.
I miss my advanced SP greatly. I can't remember where it is. I can't remember why I got rid of it, but yeah, I miss that thing. All right. Last thing for today before we call it. So I believe that both of you have conspired this time round for this week's Snoozy Explain.
So Jack doesn't know what the game is. He doesn't know any prompts. He's there to offer his opinion, but as he said, he could lead you astray. Maybe not deliberately, maybe because he doesn't know. But yeah, so Snoozy Explain. For those of you who don't know, very quickly, Dorian, with Jack on his back this time. It's 3 a.m. and they've actually flown through the air through Sheffield. They've burst through my windows, woken me up, and essentially, I've got to describe this game to them in 5 prompts, but it's like 3 a.m. I'm really tired. What do you want? So they're not very clear. So he's got to guess. He's got 5 prompts. 5 guesses.
So just to be clear, Jack's ridden me to yours. Am I like Zog
Yes.
the Dragon?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I'm thinking more, what was that? What's the film with the big friendly dragon? What's it called?
I have no idea. All I know is that I read
How
the story
to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, okay. All right, I know that one. I did know it after
Like
all.
that.
So you've given me a prompt to try and think of something. I drew a blank. I'm clearly not going to do very well this week, but I'm going to give it my best.
Okay. Jack, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Dorian, are you ready?
No, absolutely not. Go for it.
Okay.
Let's.
I don't care, we're doing it anyway.
Let's dive down this rabbit hole.
Prompt number 1. It's not a crowbar. It's red, and you can hit people, but it's not a crowbar. So prompt number 1. It's not a crowbar. It's red, and you can hit people, but it's just not a crowbar.
Well, immediately I want to say Half-Life. But in Half-Life you use a crowbar.
Is that your guess?
I'm trying to think. I can picture a first-person shooter in my head where you use something that looks like a crowbar, but I can't think of what it might be.
Of course, I could ask you for your final answer, or you could ask the audience, ask a friend.
Shall I phone a friend?
Could phone a friend. He's going to do it. Jack.
What are your thoughts, bud?
No, it can't be Half-Life because that is a crowbar.
Yeah. But
so it's something that I reckon at the same time it's got to be red but not a crowbar. So definitely not Half-Life.
What else could it be? Have you also got first-person shooter vibes in your head?
I have, yeah. I'm steering towards maybe something zombie like that. I'm tilting towards maybe like Left 4 Dead or something like that. But I think that was a crowbar in that as well.
I think it was, yeah, or a baseball bat maybe. Yeah, I think they use aluminium bats in that. Okay. Yeah. All right.
If it wasn't for copyright, I'd be doing the countdown theme right now, just to let you know. And you're approaching 6 p.m.
All right. Bada. What? There you go. Copyright free. All right. I'm gonna say Left 4 Dead. I'm gonna go with Jack's intuition there.
Okay, that's your final answer.
Yep.
It's not. It's not Left 4 Dead. No.
Oh, okay.
Good guess, but it's not. Prompt number 2. I'm glad Jack, the name Jack, is with us. Glad he's come on your back. Glad he's here. Well, glad he's here.
That's getting risky. Right. Glad Jack's here.
The name Jack.
The name
I'm glad Jack. The name Jack is with us tonight. Glad he's here.
All right. So there's something to do with the name Jack, and it's red. Looks like a crowbar, but it's not a crowbar. What games have I played with the character or a person called Jack in them?
No Googling. Just want to put that out there.
Oh, hang on. BioShock.
Oh, god damn it! He's got it. In prompt 2. No.
Yeah, because Jack Ryan's one of the characters, and one of the first lines in the game is, "Would you kindly find a crowbar or something?" And then, yeah, you pick up the first tool that you find, which I think is a wrench with a red handle. Yeah, Bioshock.
It is indeed. I'm going to give you the well done. I'm going to give you the next 3 prompts.
Yeah, go for
Prompt
it.
3 would have been bubbles, man. Just bubbles.
Yeah, as in Big Daddy. Yep.
No, just as in like water bubbles.
Oh, I think he calls the Big Daddy Mr. Bubbles.
Well, okay, well, yeah,
Okay.
that's why. Yeah. Prompt 4 was, that's why I don't trust planes, man. That's why I don't trust planes.
Because the first thing that happens is it falls out of the sky, and then that's how you get to the
Yep.
lighthouse. Yep.
That's it. And then prompt 5, if you weren't getting it, this was my sort of, last one, was, you sound like you're underwater.
Oh, that would have been way too obvious.
I know, but I thought, well, that's why it was prompt 5, because I thought if you're not getting it, then that's, so, Jack, that's the easiest wage you've ever earned, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. I was way off. I was in sort of Left 4 Dead, Resident Evil, sort of that sort of era. I was nowhere near Bioshock.
However,
Well, would you have got it with prompt 5? You sound like you're underwater. Would you have got it with that one, do you reckon?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe Bubbles, because then I was going down zombie, and then Bubbles had gone, hang on, that makes no sense.
yeah. But
Well done, both of you.
I'll just quickly say this. So Jack informed me before we started recording the podcast that the very first Snoozy Explain, Jack played along and got it in the first go. To which I was like,
First
I
prompt
really
and
need
the
to up
first
a
one,
game.
yeah.
Yeah. First prompt. So I was just like, I really need to be on it this time round. So the fact that I've got it in the second, I feel quite good about that. I'm very happy with that result.
Well, I think,
Next.
I think,
Go ahead, sorry.
I think the name of this podcast has to be something to relating to Jack. I'm glad Jack is with us tonight. Maybe not riding on your back. Maybe I'll leave that bit out of the name of the podcast.
That's it. Some eyebrows are going to be raised this week.
The red phone's going to start ringing.
That's it. Oh dear. Well, thank you very much for that. That was a load of fun. So next week it needs to be just a little bit harder. Not too hard though. Not like Driver difficult, because that I had absolutely no idea. But we are going to wrap
easy
things
one,
up.
one difficult one.
Yeah, exactly. So next week's going to be sort of like in the middle. Jack, it's been amazing having you on, bud. Thanks for coming on. And thanks for being a part of it.
Thanks for having me, guys. Been great to be here. Great to chat to you both, as always.
Yeah, no, it's been excellent. And let's not leave it too long next time, because as I say, it's been forever since we've spoken, so we shall keep in touch. It's been incredible.
We literally talk every week. What are you on about?
No, yeah, for God's sake.
Oh, right. Oh. Right.
Never mind. Right, I'm going to put up with him even after we stop recording the podcast, but we are going to finish things there. So thank you all very much for joining us. Thank you again, Jack, for coming on this week. If you've enjoyed it, remember to like, share, subscribe, leave your comments in the comments section. We're available on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. We will see you all in the next episode next week. Catch you then, guys.
See you later.
Bye, guys.